All right, guys, welcome back. Day 28. And wow, I can't believe it's the last final days of the Fit Chick Project. Hope you guys have been having a great time. I know I say this every single time, but today's guest is super, super special to my heart. Chances are you've probably never heard of her, but I bet you will never forget her after today. This girl is a very special, special human being that will have a powerful vibrational effect on you just from listening to her. Her name is Dize Kandu. Funny story, I met this girl years ago through a mutual friend and ended up hiring to be my sports psychologist coach back in the day when my sort of go hard or go home days. I could list off her titles as a life coach, a sports psychologist, a model, an actress, etc. But really, this girl is just a beautiful soul that has so much to teach us about how to live a happier and more fulfilled life while having a body to freaking die for. I mean, if you go check her out, you're gonna be like, oh my God, it's probably the prettiest human being I've ever seen. Just thinking about her, lights my heart up, and she's gonna do the same for you. I know it. Do yourself a favor. Do not skip over this interview. I promise you it's worth it. I know it's something we all struggle with as far as the talking points that we go over in this interview. Her wisdom and her energy may be the thing that literally changes your life forever, like it did for me, okay? Some of my favorite takeaways from this video are, one, why the disciplined athlete mindset is very dangerous. Two, what's most important, hard work or heart? Three, where most people go wrong from the moment they wake up. Four, her morning routine that sets her up for a good day every day. Five, why you need to stop glorifying being busy. Six, how to be happy more consistently. And seven, keys to intermittent fasting, okay? So check out this video with Dize and be sure to give her some love. Follow her on Instagram. You can find her link below. And I hope you guys enjoy the show. Awesome, girl. All right. Well, I want to be respectful of your time. And so we've got basically 50 minutes. And I really want to interview you because, I mean, first off, girl, like, you're probably, so first off, like we met, I don't know, that was 2014, 15, something like that.
God,
I think it was
yeah.
probably 2015. And so I'm just going to kind of share the story real quick is that, well, we met through a mutual friend, Armando, and then you, I don't know, I just totally connected with you. And I just saw you as like a very interesting human being, right? Because you have this, you go into a room and like, I mean, like just now, like, I mean, anywhere you go, you have like this vibration and this light that just comes off of you and it makes people want to be with you. And I was just like, man, what is it about her? And I just remember just talking to you when we were with Armando and we stayed in touch. And then you mentioned that you did like some mindset coaching and stuff like that. And I was having a hard time in CrossFit. And so I hired you to come out to Colorado and be sort of like my sports psychologist kind of person for a week,
It was
Um,
amazing.
yeah,
We had such an amazing time. I'll never
yeah.
forget that.
But I'll never forget you and your just kind of the experience that you left me with, and like just you're such a good inspiration and I wasn't sure like how is she like so happy all the time, and she's so free and what is she talking about like this bare like grounding like, with the earth and stuff like that and on top of it all, like you are the probably one of the most beautiful persons like on this planet. You should be in like the Sports Illustrated magazine. So anyways, I'm super excited to just kind of talk to you and really hear like how you've come to be, just that loving person that you are. And then also, as far as your body, like what do you do to maintain it and make it become so effortless? Okay. So that's the plan.
Well,
So,
first of all,
oh yeah, you already got something for us?
yes. Well, first of all, thank you so much for everything that you said. I truly believe that a person cannot see in another human being what doesn't already exist in her. So we connected for a reason because you have all those beautiful qualities that you mentioned of me in you as well. And okay, so I want to be very precise because I know that our time is limited. I just want to start by saying to me in my life, the most important thing has always been love. And this is going to be the most cliche, most like, I don't know, something that everybody says. But if there is one thing that I can say in life that I recognize, I know how to live it and I know how to give it, is love. And that's because of my parents. I've been very fortunate to be raised in a very loving family that wasn't together. They were divorced, but they managed to somehow show me love. And everything else in their eyes I could do. You know, that confidence for me was very important, which is probably what you mentioned as, you know, when I enter a room, I am so careless of what other people think of me, because in my adult inner voice that became, which was my parents' voice when I was a little child, was very powerful. And that's something that I always say to parents: be careful what you say to your children, because that becomes their inner voice when they grow up. I was very lucky with that. So when I grew up, and then I decided to throw myself into the real world, because I was a princess here, you know, with my mom and grandma, my dad. I went to United States by myself, didn't speak the language. Now the whole challenge and everything begun. And I realized how many people had such traumatic experiences with their families growing up, or with the people that they met, and they didn't even know how to recognize love and let it in, you know. That was very difficult for me to face. But then everything started to unfold, you know. I guess I decided to face those experiences, and I told myself that life is like a spectrum, right? And although we always want good things to happen to us, you cannot stay at one edge of that spectrum and call it life, that you experience life. You know, it has a way of throwing it in your way. If you had a wonderful family, then maybe the people that you'll meet will challenge you. Or if you had a very shitty growing up situation, then maybe you'll meet people who you call family, maybe not by blood, by choice, you know. So it always balances itself out, but we kind of get cooked in life. So what I decided, to give your answer short, what I decided is, no matter what I do, I'm going to be confident in it, and I'm going to make sure it's something that I love, because life is so short. I know that we all lost loved ones, all grown up in this challenging times, especially now more than ever. And life is so short. So I don't live for anyone's approval. I don't live for anyone's applauding me. And that also reflects into my physical movement and fitness and lifestyle philosophy as well. I guess, does that answer your question?
Yeah. So this all started when you were younger, like this whole kind of very free, loving vibe that you have.
Well, I could tell you this. I could literally tell my mom, "Eh, Ma, I have wings," and she'll be like, "Yeah, here's a balcony. You can fly. You can do anything you want." You know, even when I first started
That's what she
swimming.
would say to you.
Oh yeah, she would say to, definitely. You know, she never told me I couldn't do something, and she wasn't one of those mothers. You know how moms, of course, they want to protect their children, but they limit them so much. Like, don't walk, don't go there, don't discover and don't explore, and we just kill the curiosity in a child. There goes the creativity, and then they start to become, boxes of the system. And then they become like everybody else. They don't stand out, so they don't experience being outstanding. So those things are very important to me, and that was definitely caused by my upbringing. I'm not going to tell you like, oh, I had a horrible upbringing and then I just discover all that shit by myself. No, I had a good deck of cards that were given to me, and later on, life definitely made up for it. I experienced a lot of hardships, but I had a good foundation, so I'm very blessed.
Awesome. Well, let's kind of, I know you were also a swimmer, like you were a collegiate swimmer, right? So let's talk about just kind of like what that looked like as far as like the training there, and what it required from you. And like, did you have any aspirations to go beyond college swimming?
No, actually, even getting to college swimming was huge for me, because my swimming started in Turkey, right? And swimming wasn't really that big in Turkey, especially during those times. Now we have a better understanding about performance in general. Psychology is part of it, nutrition is part of it. But in my days, like, nobody cared. Like, you could eat McDonald's and then go to practice. Like, it wasn't a big deal, And for me, it's such a far-fetched dream, because in Turkey, unless you come from like, wealthy parents, going to United States to a school, such as University of Miami, super expensive private school that I could never be able to afford, is a very far-fetched dream. So when I started swimming, I loved it. I enjoyed it. I collected the benefits, but my goal was to be able to go to United States and study marine biology. So it became a plan for me. My dream turned into a plan. So then, the discipline came and all that stuff. In Turkey, quite honestly, most of the coaches didn't really know what they were doing. We were kind of like winging it, I guess. You were just pouring your heart and soul into every workout. Everybody was doing from what they know from their consciousness level. But then when I made it to the team at University of Miami, I mean, whole another level. I was like, whoa, okay, so that's what it is, like to smell like chlorine all day long and work out 6 hours a day,
Okay. Yeah. So that was new
yeah.
to you, the whole work harder, like longer, kind of grind, suffer. That was new. Okay.
Yes, it was definitely new. I had to pick that one thing and specialize it, which is different for me, because I like being multidimensional and doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And Division I college, if you are competing, like, that doesn't allow it. I couldn't even dance, as you know. I'm a dancer, but they didn't even allow you to be in part of another sports or team, rightfully so. So it was very different, very different. And I realized that that kind of routine is very dangerous, because although you can become very successful at that one particular thing, it also blinds you and closes your mind to other aspects of your life that you can grow as an individual. I've known a lot of very successful athletes, swimmers, that were amazing in what they were doing, but when that was over, they didn't know what to do with life, socially or psychologically. So it can be dangerous.
Yeah. And how long did you do that for? Was that like for all 4 years?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And what kind of, like, what did that teach you, as far as the sort of the hard work pays off, and like the harder is better mindset?
Okay, this is what I realized. I definitely wasn't as good as my teammates, nowhere close. Like, I was holding on my dear life, but what I realized, that your mindset matters more than people calculated, because a lot of people had the technique and years of experience, but even just going to the practice 5 in the morning, it's cold and you jump in the water, and I was singing songs because I love waking up happy, would change the way things would flow. So I realized, which is one of the reasons when I became a personal trainer in Miami, I also wanted to become a life coach, because it's a whole package. Lifestyle, fitness, being healthy is not just one destination. All those little things are vehicles, but unfortunately we make it be it all, and then we get obsessed about one route, we hold on to it. And it is normal, because I feel like while we are growing up in our teen years and in our younger adult life is all about adding things to us to make ourselves bigger. And we only add to ourselves what we see beautiful and what we see nice. So when you see something nice and you hold on to it, you're a little bit biased to it, whether that be CrossFit, whether that be swimming, whether that be dance. And then you kind of support it and you defend it, and then you say, this is the key and this is the way and this is the only way to blah blah blah. But then I realized, as I was training my clients, well, no, this is a 360-degree deal. I only have 1 hour with you, but my session doesn't start with you at that hour. I would ask my clients, when do you think our session starts? And they would say, well, whatever, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm like, no, the moment you wake up and you open your eyes, the inner chatter starts, you breathe, and our session starts. This is how it's supposed to be. So unless you do the holistic work in general in your life, I cannot undo in 1 hour what you are doing your whole day, you know?
Mm.
So then I realized there is not one way, and there is no just hard work pays off. Like, you have to do smart work. In order to do that, you have to get to know yourself, which then I started with the whole, motivational speaking, emotional intelligence, or life coaching experience, because I feel like really people want to teach the most what they want to learn. I'm not going to ever tell you like, oh, this is what I want to teach. No, this is what I wanted to learn. And once you learn it and it becomes you, I guess people can sense it and they want to learn more about it. And you just simply share the knowledge, and it's a mutual exchange, I think.
What is it that you have learned? What is that thing that you're talking about?
What do you mean? While I was coaching, or like in that
Yeah,
whole experience?
like you just said that that it's something that you wanted to learn. What was that thing?
Um, I wanted to learn what it means to live fit, healthy, and happy at the same time without compromising my mindset, my psychology. That was very
Yeah.
important to me, because, and also still being multidimensional, still enjoying life.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a movement um, in our generation, maybe before that too, where people gave so much power to the mind, and hard work and discipline, and hard work and discipline. Yeah,
Yeah.
mind is very important, but mind is just a tool. I feel like the heart is more important, because those are the things that we remember. So we started to put athletes and people into boxes, saying that only if you do this you'll be fit and you'll achieve the body you want, and then you'll be satisfied. This is how you lose fat, and this is how you get accepted by the society. And people still ended up being super unhappy.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to learn was, how could I really touch my clients the way that I could touch myself? Meaning, what is your value system? First of all, what is important to you? What is your why? Let's start from there, because you can lose all the fat you want and still look in the mirror and be super unhappy with yourself. So we didn't achieve our goal. Maybe you don't even know what your goal is. So what I wanted to learn was how to become a better coach. Not tell people what to do, but ask them the right questions to make them think what they should do. Because I don't honestly believe that as coaches, we have the key to anybody's problems. We didn't live with their bodies. We don't have their emotional luggage. We don't know shit about them, to be honest. And most of the things that they tell to us is filtered or whatever. So what can we really do? What we can do is ask them the right questions, show them that there is someone that they can share and open up to, and create a strategy for them. Because most of the time, what I realize with my clients is that they know the answers. They're just not either brave or considerate enough to ask the second question, to go deeper. And by the third question, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I never thought about it. But it's very simple. It could be even, what is your why? Why are you doing this? It's like, oh, it's the superficial answer. And then you go a little bit deeper and deeper, and you realize they never even questioned themselves in life. So those are the things that I wanted to learn, to be honest.
Yeah, so, and what most people because the people that are going to be listening to this are pretty much like CrossFitters, fitness enthusiasts that really just want to look fit. They love their body, or I mean, they want a body that they can love, but they are achieving it in a way that really they don't necessarily want. They say they want this body and freedom and go do things and feel alive and all these experiences, but then they're sort of obsessed in this one track mind that I got to work out like this. I got to do it like this and eat like this. And so they become obsessed in that track. And so what's important to them is their body, but then, so how would you take that actually the next step further? So you say, what is important to you? What is your why? And they would say to look good or whatever, to feel good because it gives me confidence. And then what would you say after that? What would you ask them after that?
Why is getting confidence important for you? And then they give you an answer. Well, why is that important to you? And when you achieve that, what does it feel? What does it look like? What does it get to you? Because no matter what we do, as humans in life is to satisfy a specific need. You know, even if it's a bad thing, all the bad habits, they're always serving something that we need. You know, so unless we get to the bottom of that, we don't really realize what we are chasing and why we are chasing it. So
Right.
to those people, and I was one of them too, you know, the way that I see it is like this. You know, I know that you've been to Miami, but even for people who haven't been, you know, when you go to the beach, almost every street has an entrance to the ocean, right? You have to pick a channel, a street to go to the ocean. If you sit down and wonder about which one is the right entrance, the street, which one is the best one, or I should hold on to one, you might not ever reach to the ocean. So I understand at one point, whether it be CrossFit or nutrition, like you have to be kind of obsessed with that one specific thing to get on the road. But once you pass that path, if you don't evolve, you're not going to go further. Evolving starts once you reach the beach and you realize that all the entrances come to the same beach. The ocean, which is the healthy lifestyle, the fitness at the end of it. So then I feel like it has to turn into a toolbox. You know, I don't trust any coach that says CrossFit is the only way, or, you know, dancing is the only way, or weightlifting is the only way. I feel like all those things should be things that are in your toolbox, and whatever goal that you have in your life, you can take it out and use it when needed. One thing that is dangerous about being obsessed with one particular thing, as you mentioned, is, like I said, being closed off to the other aspects of your life that could be more important for you, but maybe you're not realizing it. Your intimate relationships, your family, maybe other things that are important to you, but you're just so locked in to winning, maybe. And maybe then you win and you still don't feel satisfied. So I
Right.
feel like the most important part is to find your why first, and then realize, well, does this goal serve my purpose? Does it align with my values? In my coaching system, I always use this 3 modules: align, flow, evolve. Flow is part of it. You know, okay, let's work hard. Let's align ourselves with who I am and who I want to be and where I am and where I want to go. But then you have to flow, because there is, even in psychology, there's a state of flow. And once you're in flow, you enjoy what you're doing. You are in joy, you know, and once you do what you love, things become effortless. That doesn't mean that you don't work hard. It just becomes effortless, because now you put movement with emotion, positive emotion, and that leads to evolution, which is the last module, evolve. You know, that's kind of something that I've been doing, and it works for me in my life. But then again, coaching also involves not trying to put people in one box and saying that this module works for everyone. Everyone's needs are different. So I think to be more open-minded, I would say, to those people that you mentioned, just kind of be brave to question things that you feel like that were written in stone, question your beliefs, read about things that are contradicting everything that you think is right and true. I don't think you can ever lose when you do that, you know?
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah. I've lived by that hard work mindset, you know, just
You're one of the most hardworking people like I ever met in my
dude,
life.
I wanted to like tattoo hardest worker in the room and blah, blah, blah. Like, and I have totally changed my belief around that. And it is so much, so I know what you're talking about, that sort of flow. When you are in alignment, there is no effort. It's exactly what you want it to be. You know, it's amazing. So working out doesn't become this chore, but how do people find that flow? How do people find that alignment?
What you mean, how they find the flow?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like first of all, they have to do what they love, you know, not what the society tells them what they're supposed to do or the role that they're supposed to fulfill. Because if you do what you love, I don't care if you're selling milk or if you are doing CrossFit or if you're walking dogs. If you are not concerned about your reputation, but what your heart desires and what gives you joy, you're always going to be successful. Like that does not fail at all. So the first thing is that I think to do what you love. And the second thing is accepting that failure is a feedback. It's not the end of the road, and it's necessary. There is a different type of joy from getting up after you fell down. I always look at myself like when I'm learning something new, when I hit that challenging part, like learning a new language or starting a new sports category or learning a new dance choreo. Oh my God, it's so frustrating. Like, because it doesn't sit well on you and you just want to be so confident and just show how you flow, but you can't yet because you didn't learn the choreo. It's very challenging. And I embrace that because you have to be willing to look funny. You have to be willing to look stupid, and you have to be willing to be perceived like however by other people's eyes. I think that's the number one limiting thing that holds us back from being successful, because we're constantly concerned about how other people see us. I mean, are they going to come into gray with us? Like, I don't understand what, I don't care how they see me. They might talk about me for 5 minutes and they will continue living their lives, picking on other people, and I will be alone with myself. So I feel like if you do what you love and you don't give up when things get hard, you are eventually going to catch that state of flow.
Okay, cool. And so you said that like you do in the morning, you wake up and, well, I guess most people like, the inner chatter starts from in the morning, right? And it kind of sets your whole day up for whatever, how it's going to be. And so are there certain things that, how do you feel like most people wake up in the morning, and what goes through their head and sort of takes them down the wrong?
Oh my God, it's morning. When it's 9 o'clock, when is my meeting? Let me get some coffee. I can't even have time for breakfast. God, I have so much shit to do. It's such a busy day. Like, this is how they wake up. Honestly, I feel like it's so funny when you have a very expensive, important car and it's a cold ass day, you don't even jump in your car and expect it to turn on and start working right away. Like, even that has a period of warming up to do. But when it comes to ourselves, I feel like we're so ruthless sometimes. We don't give ourselves time to breathe and open our eyes and just relax and set the pace for the day. And it's just the line starts chasing, and we are already in a stressful situation that does not end. And as you know, the modern stress is much more dangerous than the ancient times, because back in the days, the lion chases you and you get either killed or you run away and you stop running. In modern life, it never ends. The email and the contracts. And so I know it's very exhausting. And so it takes effort. We've been programmed for a very long time by the society that glorifies being busy. I'm not busy. I'm sorry. I don't tell myself I'm grinding hard, I'm hustling, I'm busy all the time. To me, that's not attractive. To me, being in flow is attractive. Being productive, being creative is attractive. Everybody is different, but that's just my way of thinking. So when I wake up, my priority is me. First of all, my mindset. Like, what's going to get me through the day is my mind and my heart. So I have to check, like, hey guys, like, are we good? What's happening? What is kind of the leftover thoughts in my head? How did I wake up? How does my body feel? What do I need? Before I go out to the world and pretend I can provide what others need, first I have to figure out what my cup is.
Right. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I, at least from my clients, obviously I don't pretend to know everyone, but most of the clients who came to me, when I asked them about their morning routine, I mean, it's not much of a routine, more like a sprint race, Then I feel like our generation's hardest task, and I don't blame them because there's so much technology and social media, so much pressure, to be in the moment is the hardest thing to do. We pay people to tell us to drink water, to stay quiet and be with ourselves. It is almost easier to accomplish external goals, but like to get to know ourselves, to stay alone with ourselves, like, wow, that's very difficult. And I feel like it's kind of ironic, obviously with COVID-19, everything that's been happening is horrible, but the message, I don't believe in coincidences. So I try to read into it, even if it's the simplest thing. It says stay home. What is home? It's not just our physical homes, I believe. Like, my home is my heart. So when everybody is screaming loud, stay home, maybe it's time to reflect and go back and figure out how we can treat ourselves better. So that reflects to my morning routine too. There are times I don't follow it at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like, oh, every day I wake up and I meditate and it's perfect and I'm just so peaceful. No, shit hits the fan, and sometimes I go in a hamster wheel as well. But at least I feel like I'm hoping that I've reached the awareness level to catch myself and be like, hold up, like, let's slow down, remember what's important, and then continue.
Hey, love, real quick, I wanted to make sure you knew that I do have spots available in my one-on-one coaching program, the Fit Chick Academy. Now, what's awesome about working with me one-on-one is you get to take literally the fast track to looking lean without having to kill yourself in the gym or kitchen anymore. My one-on-one program includes direct 24/7 access to me, weekly calls to keep you focused and on track, and a complete nutrition, mindset, and workout program that is designed specifically to your needs and your personal preferences. Whether you feel like you've done it all or this is your first time working with a coach, I guarantee that my program is exactly what you've been looking for and will put all your past dieting experiences to shame. If you want to learn more and see if we'd be a good fit, all you got to do is reach out to me through email or through Instagram. Now back to the show. So what is your morning routine?
Well, the ideal morning routine, I like waking up early, but depends. If I have a very tiring week, I don't have a problem sleeping in also, because I really enjoy listening to my body and giving it what it needs. So I'm not very strict with those things.
Okay.
I like waking up early before the sun rises because that's my time to meditate. And there's something so special about a sunrise. I feel like it fills you up with hope. And it's one of the most magical things that you can watch. You know, we love going to social media and liking all those sunrise and sunset pictures as if they are scenes from another world. You know, it happens here. If you wake up just a little bit early, you can have front row to the most magical show in the world, literally in the world. So I try to catch that as much as possible. When I was in Miami, I would go in the mornings, do my Tai Chi, just be with myself, not talk or think, just be in the moment. And it's not really a routine, you know. I like changing things up. So one day it might be a Tai Chi and yoga, and another day it might be just sitting down and listening to the wind, whatever I want. So in the morning, yeah, I have that meditation period. That's a must for me. And I always tell my clients, I know that that was also in social media too, but when I tell my clients, like, you should meditate at least for like 15 minutes or half an hour to get things in order. And they say, well, yeah, but I'm so busy. I'm like, well, then you should do it for an hour. You know, that thing? That saying is so true. Like, you are important. You are the most important thing, period. Like, I don't care if that comes across selfish. Yes, be selfish. That's a positive thing, because there is nothing heroic about someone who reduces themselves or consuming themselves to the last drop. And you go out there and be like, oh, I'm all for people. Like, you're all for nothing. You got nothing to give. So anyway, so meditation is very important to me. I like maybe drinking tea, something warm. Always a liquid though. I like my water. As you know, I don't drink alcohol, so I drink a lot. I always tell people I drink a lot. Just ask me what. And after that, it really depends, girl. Like, it really depends. I don't do one specific thing. You know, I'm not a lawyer or a doctor to tell you I go to my office. I do acting right now. So maybe I woke up at 5 in the morning and at 6, I'm already on set. So the whole thing changes. You know, that's something that I want to mention. And I want to thank you for inspiring people to think that, because I feel like a lot of people try so hard to find the equation for life. You know, okay, this is going to be my routine and I should be able to apply this to, you know, this is how my travel gonna go and this is how my career gonna. Well, that's not how life is. It's not. You might make a plan and your trip doesn't go as planned, and there goes your eating habits, there goes your movement habits. So if you set your eye into just one equation and think that this is the only way for me to feel fulfilled, you're going to be very disappointed. So I feel like the thing that we need to focus on is to be connected with ourselves and listen, you know, and have a bunch of things in our toolbox to be able to take out whenever we need and use it properly. Flexible. To make the connection between dots is what's important, not to memorize the dots, because the dots would always change. therefore my day changes. You know, if I have a dance practice, it's different. If I'm going to the shooting arena, it's different. Like I love doing a bunch of different things. I don't claim to be the best at any one of them. That's not my thing. I really admire and respect people who are like this. You know, they want to be the CEO, they want to be the best in one particular thing. That's not me. I like enjoying different things a little bit in life. So my day changes as well. But what does not change is being in connection with myself, being in open communication. I'm not saying being happy and being positive all the time. No, even when I'm negative, being able to listen to myself, catch myself, and then keep it going.
Okay. So how do you train yourself to do that? You know, I mean, this isn't something that just, for most people, doesn't come naturally. And I'm assuming it's not something that like it takes a specific intentional focus for you to do that, to be aligned in that way day after day, and making sure people don't distract you from who you want to be and what's important to you. So is there any type of like training or conditioning you do with yourself to, and I guess that's part of it, is the meditation is that, you know, and your Tai Chi and stuff like that is part of the training. Is there anything else?
You know, all those things, the way that I see it, life is a metaphor. Okay, so everything I do has to be a metaphor for me to become a better human being. That's how I feel. So the way I dance is the way that I live. The way I work out is the way I live. You know, everything. That's why I give 100% into everything, my 100% presence, my energy, because I know that I have to use that as a metaphor for something that is maybe unseen. You know, it's never to get more muscle mass. There's always like an emotion behind it. There's always something that is unseen that maybe I can't even express. So I try to focus on that, I guess. Therefore, all those things that I tell you, Tai Chi and dance, those are the drills. Those are the tools, but they are not what's getting me there. I guess it's the mindset, it's the heart, and it's wanting to, it's deciding how I want to live my life. You know, I went through a lot of phases. I'm not the same person that I was even yesterday. I've made a lot of mistakes, thankfully, back in the days, to learn from them, to become the person that I am today. It's the constant question of asking myself, like, how can I be better? But not to, you know, show it to you or come tell you answers or respond to anyone's question. Like, it's not for that. It's, I'm living this. This might be my last breath. I mean, one life, live it like this is my life, you know? And as far as the people go, I just really don't care, man. Like, I don't know how to say this. I don't care. And I don't stand quiet when other people try to belittle or sabotage or take advantage of others. Maybe this is the reason I liked being a coach, because I love being someone's cheerleader instead of a bully. You know, there's enough of those in the world. And not everybody maybe was fortunate enough to have the kind of family or upbringing that I had with positive inner voices, you know? So I want to be that for someone else. It doesn't matter if it's fake. You know, that's something that I always talk about. People try to make such deep philosophical statements just to sound intelligent, like, fake it till you make it. No, don't do that. Like, it's bad to fake. Like, no, it's not. Dude, like, you fake to be sleeping in order to sleep. Like, we do that shit every day. I'm sorry. Like, it's part of our lives. There is nothing wrong about feeding yourself with a positive cheerleading activity, even if that's not what's happening at that moment. Because the most important thing that I learned, your previous question, in coaching is, you know, your physical state affects your emotional state. Your emotional state also affects your physical state. You know, we talk about a person, you know, winning and the way that their body posture is and how that emotional states your physical state. But then we don't talk about the backwards part. Like, when you change your physical state, your emotional state also changes. So I just want to tell people all those things that I experienced, that it worked for me. And I want to talk about it because, hey, like, rising tides elevates all boats. You know, if you're being successful and you're being happy and fulfilled in your life too, then you're going to be touching a lot more people. And that's important to me. That's why I like coaching. And I feel like we're just in this world trying to figure out who we are and how we can be happy in this limited time. And there is not room for too much seriousness in my world. So I guess, yeah, I don't care. I don't care what people think. I don't care what people say. This is my life, and I'm gonna die alone. It's enough motivation, I think. We're gonna die. It can happen anytime, and you're gonna be alone. That's it.
Oh man, dude, I could talk to you for hours. I kind of want to go into that, but I also want to talk a little bit about like your, you know, how you've been able to stay in such great shape. Okay. And I know this is all goes hand in hand, right? I used to think that diet and exercise was everything. Now I think that mindset is the root of everything. And obviously, like, I mean, you know, your mindset, has like, you know, allowed you to, or has had a huge impact on how you eat and how you enjoy your workouts and how you make everything very fun and sustainable. So let's talk about like your workout routine. Like what does that look like?
Oh my God. My workout routine can be summarized in one word: movement. That's it, dude. Like,
Awesome.
I strive to still the mind throughout the day and move the body, as simple as that. And that could be anything, you know. And I get excited from the variety. I know that to reach results, you have to be sustainable and you have to be consistent with a specific program. So if I have a goal, okay, like I'm trying to achieve a specific body type for myself or for a competition, whatever, I need a strict program, and I kind of live that. But I've been an athlete all my life, so now I am finally at a point where I'm not competing, I'm not doing all that. I just want to be fit, healthy, and happy while I'm doing it, and it doesn't feel forced. So I move, you know, and it excites me. And it's funny, Lewis knows this. Like, it's one of the most exciting part of my day to wake up and program it. And when I say program it, I don't mean just a gym program. To me, it could be anyone who has seen me working out at the gym. They know that my active rest is dance. Like, I'll be that weird girl dancing all over the gym. I don't care because it makes me happy, you know. So my workout routine could be dancing. It could be doing yoga that day. It could be doing Tai Chi. It could be martial arts. It could be lifting weights. I still love lifting weights very much. However, I did switch to the mindset of being able to do things with my body, you know. So it could be animal flow, or it could be just reaching to every dimension with my body, stretching and flexing as much as possible, because I don't want to limit it in one way of training. I want to make sure that my body is well-rounded the same way that I want it for my mind and my culture. So I try a little bit of everything, and swimming, of course. All those things I feel like give something different to my body. And then once it becomes about movement, the look of the body somehow comes, you know. You are much more equipped and aware and educated about this than me, so I'm not going to get into the physiology of how that works. But it really is, if you keep your body happy, it keeps you happy back. You know? It's very simple. So sometimes there can be a day when technically I'm supposed to do a very heavy lifting and workout at the gym, maybe for an hour and a half, but I spend that day for a 20-minute walk with my lover across the forest, or I go for a swim in the ocean, and it just does so much to me. And it makes me happy, and it gives me results. So I can't really explain it, but there's something about the energy and activating your happy hormones that makes the whole package work together as a team, I guess.
You follow happiness. You follow the good stuff. You follow the good feeling. What feels good?
I do what feels good. It doesn't always end up feeling good. I don't want to say what feels good, because then it sounds like I'm avoiding the hard parts, you know, like the bad feelings. No, I like those too. I guess I follow what I love doing. You know, as long as it's what I'm loving, like as long as the path is what I love doing, I don't care about the struggle, the hardship, because in any path that you choose, there's going to be hardship and struggle, you know, and exhaustion. So it's not this like Europhic idea of like, oh, okay, just do what you love and avoid all the hard stuff. No, it's not that. It just
Yeah.
make sure that you're deserving of your suffering. Make sure it's worth it. You know, if I'm gonna suffer, I might as well do it for something that I love doing. So I follow my heart. Yeah, and it's definitely not hard.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And this is a very tricky line because people think that, oh, you're just lazy, right? Because that's the way I used to think. Like, oh, you're just opting out, like you're just not tough and whatever. But it's not that I'm avoiding the struggle or, the pain. I embrace the pain. It becomes, I love it when I love what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so many people would say, okay, well, if I'm supposed to be doing like this workout today, like it's supposed to be, or this lift, and I don't, they'll have the guilt of not doing it,
Yeah.
feeling like they are unworthy because they didn't get it done or they didn't push hard enough in their workout,
Mm.
So what would you kind of say to that?
Well, again, I feel like then you should go back to connecting with yourself and then realizing that every workout that you do and every food that you put in your mouth is not a punishment, but it's a celebration to nurture your body better. Because if you're seeing it like, oh, working out is an obligation, not an opportunity, well, you're missing the whole point. You know, you're healthy, you have all your limbs and you have your mind, your mental health, and you're able to move. That's a huge privilege. So
Mm-hmm.
when you look at it as an opportunity and not an obligation, the whole game changes. But
Mm-hmm.
if you miss it, then you miss it. Like you do something else. You cannot get stuck on what you miss, because then you're not seeing all the other doors that are opening for you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that applies to everything psychologically too, and it's a very difficult thing to do. And trust
Mm-hmm.
me, because I've been talking about these things for so long, it might sound to the listeners like, oh, she's just
Yeah.
saying all the right things. Like, no, I struggle with it daily, trust me. But I kind of figured out what's the right thing to do. So I strive to at least put myself towards that direction as soon as I get out of the way. So if you feel like that, you messed up and you ate the wrong thing, just
Mm-hmm.
get off that train. You're not a tree. You're not rooted into one specific position, situation. You can always get yourself out of it. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter how bad it looks. And that applies to everything in life. You can always change your circumstances. Even
Mm-hmm.
in quantum field, there is always a different possibility that you can choose. That's the life that we're living in. The physics, it's not
Mm-hmm.
just classical now. We have quantum. So talk about possibilities. Talk about what can be different, and you have that power. So don't
Mm-hmm.
just get stuck
Yeah.
and don't be so
Yeah.
hard on yourself. And when that happens, usually I tell my clients like, okay, you're really hard on yourself, but think about it. If this person who is trying to achieve the same goal was your kid, your daughter, your son, or someone whom you love, would you be as hard? I know that some people would say, yeah, I would. But like, think about it for a second. Like, we are much more harsher on ourselves than
Mm-hmm.
other people. Like, our
Mm-hmm.
inner voice becomes a bully much easier. You wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
even be friends with that inner voice if that was a person standing next to you, like every day telling you, you look ugly, you're unsuccessful, you ate like shit. Like, nobody wants to be friends with someone like that. We live with that
Mm-hmm.
voice.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
guess starting from that point would solve a lot of problems along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Become friends with yourself. Doesn't mean
Yeah.
you're gonna be best friends and everything is gonna be great, but you're communicating. That means you cannot be manipulated. That means you're not giving the power to the external circumstances, like other people telling you who you are and how you're limited. You are
Mm-hmm.
deciding it for yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's what I would say.
How do you become friends with yourself?
Mm. I feel like the first step to everything is awareness. I feel like, first of all, you have to be very honest and become fully aware of all your bullshit. Excuse my language, but that's the thing. All the lies that you tell yourself, all the things that you are used to telling to other people because of the masks that we put, because we're trying to portray ourselves so perfect because of the social media and everything. Just stop, drop it. There's no one around, nobody's listening. Okay, it's just you and your life. Why are you doing certain things? What makes you feel like, how? What does your inner voice say? What do you really want to do? Maybe you're a lawyer, but all your life you wanted to paint paintings. Like, maybe that's where your heart wants to go. So once you sit down, become aware of your current situation and listen, then I feel like becoming friends is not that hard. And no matter how well of a friends that you become with yourself, you know, there's something called ego. Unless you tame it, the goal I feel like is never to make it disappear, because I don't think that's possible, but to tame it, to train it so that it doesn't run around in your living room like an untrained German Shepherd, just tearing apart everything, you know? The same metaphor applies to ego. You know, if you train the ego like a well-behaved German Shepherd, it's going to be your protector. It's going to become your best comrade. It's going to get shit done. So, but you have to listen, get over your bullshit, get over your fears, and face yourself. You know, put the phone away. I do that too. You know, we're so connected to, oh my God, like Instagram, this and that. And I'm guilty of that a lot as well. But I know how to put it away and be like, okay, you know what? None of that matters, because that's ghost town. Guys, social media is ghost town. Seriously, nothing is real there. Everybody is posting the highlights of their lives. We're constantly comparing ourselves with the ideal of a image-driven society that is so fake. So forget about that. Just sitting down with yourself, like, okay, none of that exists. I am here right now. What do I want? And then an honest relationship starts, I feel like. Hopefully.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So last thing I want to talk about is your relationship with food. So, what does that look like? What does your relationship with food look like? What do you eat? Do you have what?
Like this. I love food and food loves me back. No, seriously. I love food. But I am aware that it's an energy source. You know, it's not an emotional toy that I need to fill my body up with when I'm bored. And that's something that I realized and I came to awareness through fasting. So 2 things that are very important in my life. One, I've been vegan for many, many years. That's a personal choice for everyone. So I'm not going to talk about veganism, but that has allowed me to really explore a lot of the options that I have with vegetables and plants, which are closest to the source of our main energy, which is sun, you know, without having the middleman. So that has helped me a lot. And I have very high energy. You know me. Sometimes I'll dance for 4 hours throughout the day and then I'll go weightlifting and it doesn't end. I just feel so light all the time and my energy is up. And my sleep is very important. I'll sleep when I need it. You know, I'm not one of those people like 2 hours is enough. No, like I'll sleep if I need to. But as far as my food goes, I eat plant-based. And I do intermittent fasting sometimes. Once or twice a year, I do prolonged fasting where I'm not taking any calories for 7 days. It's just water fast. Throughout that time, I came to the awareness of, man, like I do a lot of emotional eating, you know? I don't really need that much food at that moment, but I need it because blah, 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 you know? How we are conditioned and how we are programmed to eat certain things. And it's not just us, it's the society that we live in too, the media, the commercials, the advertisements. A lot of things have an effect on us that maybe we're not aware of. But becoming aware, I had to distance myself from it. So fasting allows me to do that. And then say, okay, this is what I'm going to put in my body. This is how it makes me feel. But I love food. I never see it as a punishment. I also don't see it as a reward. You know, that's something that I learned a lot from Lewis. Actually, as you know, Lewis is an amazing coach as well. Because as he was coaching his clients, I realized like he doesn't, how can I say, promote cheat day or like a cheat meal. Like if you really want to have something, okay, have it, but don't make it so big in your mind and give it so much power as if everything else is a struggle, an obligation. It's a horrible week. And that on Sunday, when you eat your pizza or ice cream, whatever the hell it is, then life becomes like all rainbows. Because then you're missing the point. That whole week that you're treating your body with respect and discipline towards your goal of living healthier and happier life should be the reward, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe you want to eat something on the side, but that's not the main point. I eat what I want. I'm just very aware of it. It's about not overdoing something, I feel like. So I
So
don't, I,
you'll go for cookies and stuff like that. It's just,
oh,
okay.
girl,
Because
yes, but it's not.
I haven't seen you eat the cookies. You ate all the plants when you were at my house. So
Yeah, well, yes, but then, they're vegan cookies and cupcakes and such. No, yeah, first of all, being vegan already eliminates a lot of the desserts and stuff. I have sweet tooth. I'll be first to admit it. I like sweet stuff. And I just try to make healthier choices. Like if I have the sweet tooth and I want to eat something, maybe I'll use peanut butter and jelly or something that is healthier than a deep fried Oreo cheesecake or ice cream or whatever, even if it's vegan. But yeah, if I want to have a cookie, I'll have a cookie, because guess what? If I don't have that cookie, that tiny cookie is going to become a macro cookie in my mind throughout the whole damn week.
Yes.
And then finally, when I'm unleashed towards my cheat meal, then I'm going to destroy that. And I'm going to feel like shit afterwards. And that's going to be a punishment,
Yeah.
So no, I don't overindulge. Once a month I might, when that special time comes. Like it's scary, but I'll be honest to say that. But aside from that, I don't overindulge, and I don't neglect myself of something that I want so badly. Like, to me, that doesn't make sense. Have a little bit of it, but then continue,
And so here's the other thing, because with the fasting thing, what I see with a lot of women is that they hold on. They got to wait till that 12th hour or 14th hour comes. And as a result of them trying to hold on, they unleash, right? They get so hungry to a point where they can't help themselves for what they eat in the rest of the day. So do you have a certain time limit where you're like, at 11 o'clock I eat, and you're like counting down the minutes, or what's your routine there?
Okay, so if I'm doing intermittent fasting, yeah, because I want to make sure I have 18-hour window when I'm not digesting something. So if I'm trying to be structured about a specific way of fasting, yes. But if not really. And to those people who just kind of go over the board while they're opening their fasting, and it's funny because we just finished Ramadan in Turkey, for 30 days Muslims fast. And it's part of our culture too, which is in most religions in general too. It's an important thing to think about. Means it comes from ancient times. There's a benefit to it. Anyways, I would say this again, go back to why you're doing it. If you're doing a fasting because it's popular culture, somebody told you you're going to lose so much fat and you just want a shortcut, that's probably going to backfire. You're going to open it, and then that means your mindset hasn't changed, because fasting about being able to discipline yourself and being able to slow down and really putting in your body what your body deserves and needs, and not all the other junk, really understanding and connecting with your body. And if you went through a whole week or whatever time to do that cleaning, for you to jump overboard and, fill yourself with all the junk and the stuff that's bad for you, I mean, what's the point?
Yeah.
I feel like it would almost be like I built this incredible tower, and I just put the last piece and I'm going to destroy everything. Like, I'm disrespecting myself. So I would say really question why you're doing what. And it's the same thing goes for veganism too. Like,
that's true.
when I post things, a lot of people are like, oh, I want to be vegan. How can I be tomorrow? Like, don't. If it takes you for 2 years to do your homework and do your research and figure out why you are doing it. For some people, it's overnight. For some people, it's years. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of diet it is. I'm just talking about life goals in general. Just do your homework. Figure out why you want it, not why other people do it, And in coaching industry, I'm so sick of people trying to formalize everything, 10 steps to success and 5 steps to happiness. Like, I mean, forget about it. Okay. Be an artist in life. Artists don't have maps because they're creative, because you are you and you're unique, and there is no other person in this world than you. So how can I know how things are going to unfold in your life when you go on a path? You can go towards a way, and then you can talk about the fundamentals of becoming successful that applies to everyone. Okay, work smart, work hard, don't be late. Oh, we know those things, but don't try to, get people's money or try to make them narrow-minded by saying my way is the only way, get this formula, get this book, and then you'll be blah, blah, blah. No, like, teach people to learn the purpose of everything that they're doing. Instead of telling them what to think, teach them how to think. Because the rest is easy, really, honestly. Like, we're intelligent beings. You can figure out what works for you, and what works for me is not going to work for you. I'm sure I don't like everything that you do in your fitness life or your lifestyle, and you won't like everything that I do. And how can I tell you, like, hey girl, like, do the way that I do, otherwise you'll be very unhappy. So I would say stay away from those magazines and how to be beautiful, how to be successful in your sex life, and all those things that are important to us. You know, sex is a huge thing. You know, so many things that are like taboo that we don't want to talk about, like, you know, our periods and our sex lives and our psychology. Those are the important things, because those things cannot be controlled. Therefore, people are not really giving advices about it. You know, they want to control the movement, the program, the structure. Okay, that's easy. But yeah, I just feel like being more open-minded, getting to know yourself, and really being honest about what you want and who you want to become. And don't worry about what the world tells you and how to be. If you do what you love and stay consistent with it and stay honest to yourself, you'll figure out your own formula. Just don't try to sell it to other people.
I agree, girl. I think you're right. I think it comes down to getting to know yourself and just following that, you know, and rather than looking for answers everywhere else outside of you, because
it's such a waste of time. But girl, can I just say this? Like, and I'm not saying this because you're my friend, you know, like, I always witness you and cheer you from far away, no matter where you are. Like, right now I'm in Turkey, you're in the United States, but like, you just like completely blew my mind away with the way that you evolved in your life, in your goals. You know, I always send you those messages, but like, I truly mean it from my heart, because I know you were such a workhorse.
I know.
Like, this woman, oh my God. Like, when I was in Colorado, when she was like, you want to work out? She meant the whole damn day. Okay. I was dying.
Yeah.
It was incredible. And I got so strong, and, you know, it was great. But then she just flipped the whole script, and she figured it out all by herself. Like, yes, she used the tools and the advices and the people around her, but she figured it out herself. And she was honest enough to tell people, listen, I've done this. It sucks. It doesn't work. It only gets you to a one-dimensional target. But if you want to be happy and satisfied in life in every aspect, we need to open up. And you've done that. And it's hard because you're a champion. Okay, you come from the CrossFit world. CrossFit is a very amazing culture. I love it, but sometimes it can be very strong opinions and biased. Okay, and you came from that. You came from winning, and you were willing to say, you know what, I'm switching my my field. I'm doing something different. I'm giving a break. I am discovering, I'm exploring, whatever it is. And now you're telling it to people. I follow everything that you put, girl. Like, on your story, it inspires me, because your work ethic now has been channeled into helping people realize that. And I think that's priceless. I think it's going to come back to you thousandfold. Like, I am sure of it.
Thanks, dude. That's so nice.
No, seriously. Really, like, to me, that's what a successful human being is. Like, I look at you, sometimes the same tears that you have right now, I get them when I look at you, because like, you don't give up. You don't give up. You truly care about your clients as a human being. You know, one of the things that I hated working in, you know, popular gyms, like, I'm not going to give names, but when the clients were XYZ, and if you were hitting your quota and how much money you were making and the bonus that you were hitting, like, all that's bullshit. People don't care about what you say and how much you know till they know how much you care. Like, this is something we all know and always say, and you care. Like, this woman has no problem saying, dude, I don't know. You know how many times, like, we had conversations, like, she'll look me in the eye and be like, well, tell me more. Like, I really want to learn more about this. Not that I knew about it, but she's just open for the conversation. And that's why you evolve. You were not scared of putting yourself out there when you thought you were bloated or ugly, or when things went wrong. And those were your routes too. Those were your programs too. But you were like, hey, I tried it and it didn't work. So let's go somewhere else. Yeah. And it's so incredible to me. It's so powerful. You're so strong, and you're such a visionary, and everything that you've done with your business, and even the banner that you're standing in front, your logo and everything, like, I'm just so proud. Like, seriously.
Aw, thanks, dude.
Thank you, Dize. You're so sweet. This is about you. It's supposed to be about you, not me.
No, it's always a mutual conversation, man. Like every time, even in coaching and everything, it's mutual. I've learned so much from you. Not only I've learned so much from you, your friendship. I mean, we've known each other. We don't even know how many years now, but doesn't matter how long we don't speak. When I hear your name, I'm there. Like my heart is there immediately. Because you are an incredibly beautiful person inside and out. Like, thank you, Armando.
Yeah.
For
All
putting
right,
us
girl. Dize, thanks so much, girl. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here. And you are just, we got to have you back on again in the future. So definitely gonna have you back on. But where can people find you? Where can they follow you?
Well, first of all, I just realized that I enter Zoom from my mother's account.
I saw that. Yeah.
To tell. They can reach me from my Instagram. I don't use Facebook. I don't have a product that I'm selling, none of that stuff, but I'm always open for a conversation and mutual exchange of feelings and knowledge. So they can find me on Instagram. It's Dize Kandu, so it's DizeKandu.
Okay.
And that's my social media.
Cool.
Come find me, send me a DM, and we'll chat.
Awesome. Dize Kandu,
I love
ladies
you,
and
girl.
gents. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so
See ya.
much for having me. I love you.
You bet. You bet. I love you too. All right.
Bye,
We'll see you later,
beautiful.
girl. Bye.